Tier one is going to be the most expensive option. Sorry if this is a little confusing. It'll be the same throughout each section. But tier one is going to basically just be the top, the most expensive, and then tier four or the last tier is going to be the cheapest option. And sometimes that'll be free, and sometimes for microphones, there's a few free options, but even the Rode video mics just cost a little bit of money. They're really not bad, and your phone and computer mic is free. So that'll kind of be the last tier option, and then I have a few options in between. So again, tier one, Shure SM7B. This is like the top of the line, best podcast microphone, essentially. So if you have a big budget or you want to just go ahead and get the best microphone you possibly could, which I think you can rationalize anything, but this is a great mic. It sounds really, really good. You can, if you look at the style and even look at some pictures of it, you can usually recognize this mic on some of the top podcasts in the world. I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan uses this if he doesn't use a different one. But this one I would say definitely is like, if you want to go for the best podcast mic, this would be it, apart from like thousands and thousands of dollars on mics. But that I think this is definitely going to hit the 80-90% quality range for sure, depending on what you're looking at it. But just some notes I wanted to have on here. It does require an XLR audio interface, so definitely important to remember, because if you buy this and don't buy anything else, can't really do anything with it. It does use an XLR cable, but obviously that doesn't just go into your computer or your phone or anything. So I'll talk about this a lot later on. I don't want to get into it completely right now, but essentially, if you buy this, you need to buy an XLR cable and at the very least an audio interface that allows you to record into your computer, into GarageBand or something like that. I'll talk about those as well. Or into a separate recording interface. So there's some of those that are standalone that you don't need a phone or a computer for, and this will just go straight in. And some of those are really good as well. But again, I'll talk about those a little later on. And one stipulation with this mic is it does require a lot of gain or power per se, and all that power goes through the XLR cable. This mic doesn't plug into the wall or anything like that. So you may need to get what's called a cloud lifter, which basically just boosts the gain a lot. So if you buy this with an audio interface and you have all the gain all the way up and it's still really low, that may be the issue. But just to keep in mind, there's a lot of videos, and if you just search up this mic, a lot of those, they even sell a package on B&H. But just for the mic, it's $400. So a lot of money. But I have some other cheaper options we'll talk through. So, but yeah, that one, great mic, sounds really, really good. Can't really go wrong with that. Rode PodMic. I still think this is a great mic. Honestly, it sounds really, really good. I mean, you'd be pretty hard pressed to really hear a big difference between this and the Shure SM7B. Obviously it's $300 price difference, and these ones, I haven't heard of these needing a cloud lifter, which would be an extra cost, like it might be with the Shure. I don't want to get super into the weeds with this, but this is still a great mic for $100. I think this one is a great option. If I was starting a podcast, this would probably be what I would go for, because they're just really versatile. They're still an XLR, so like I said, you will need an audio interface or a separate console. We'll talk about those later, but there's still some really good, fairly budget-friendly options, even if you get an XLR mic like this one or the Shure SM7B. And then tier 3, so this is almost to the cheapest price point. It's pretty similar to the PodMic, but I put this one in a different tier because there's no XLR needed. It's just a USB, so it can plug right into your computer. If you'll notice, this last one, the tier 2, the Rode PodMic, is a Rode mic, obviously, and so is this one. They actually have a great article about podcast mics, and they make a lot of good microphones and audio interfaces and accessories and things like that. Just a really good company. I've had one of their mics for years and it's been awesome. I don't think you can really go wrong with a lot of their mics. So if you're just looking at widening your knowledge and looking at what's out there, I would definitely recommend checking out their site. But again, I put this in a different tier because with this mic, the pod mic, you will need a separate audio interface. So there's already an extra price tag attached to this. But with the NT USB Mini, I still think it sounds pretty good. I haven't actually used this one, but I think a lot of their products just work really, really well, and I'm sure it sounds really good. Um, but it doesn't require an XLR audio interface, just USB, so you could be pretty much good to go with just this mic by itself. And then moving on, these are tier 4, a little cheaper, as well as I'll talk through like I don't have a slide for them, but you can use your phone mic or your computer mic, which are already really accessible. But I think in my mind, this one's $80, this one's $40, and this one's $80. They're all very similar. They're just for different phones. Like, for example, this is for iOS. So it has the lightning connector. This one's just a headphone jack and then USB-C for Android devices. So these are all very similar mics. They're all just work with different phones essentially. But I think even these 3 mics I have here would just be a big step up from the built-in mic on your computer or phone. I just wanted this video to be a really quick explanation of these things, and I really wanted to just do an easy webcam style, so it's just easy for you guys to hear and pretty simple. But you can hear me through. This is just my microphone on my MacBook Pro, and it's not the best quality. I think it does a good job adjusting the level as I'm speaking or if I get further away, things like that. But it's just not the best quality, and neither are the cameras. It looks okay because it's really small in the corner of the screen. But same with videos. I think even a cheap camera, yeah, I don't want to get super into it, but I think one of these mics to clip onto your phone would still be a really good option if you wanted just a slight step up from like your phone microphone. And these would still allow you to just use like the voice memo or the audio recording app, depending on your phone, which would be super easy. And a lot of those transfer to your computer wirelessly or otherwise. So pretty easy. Those are all the microphones I have, like I said, plus the built-in mics. But I think these would be really good options for if you just wanted a slight step up from your phone mics. And then the NT USB Mini from Rode would be a really good mic if you wanted to step up from your MacBook Pro built-in microphone, essentially. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this very short clip from my webinar, Introduction to Starting a Podcast. If you'd like to check out the full length and get the whole experience, just visit overflowcreative.net/store or just click the link down in the description and it'll take you right to it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.